Hey guys, Nando here. I wanted to take a moment before the start of the show and have you like and subscribe to our channel. If you're watching us on YouTube, click the subscribe button and ring the bell to keep up with the latest videos and catch show releases early. Leave us a comment and let us know what you think of the show. If you're watching us on Facebook, please like and share the page, and don't forget to leave a comment there as well.
What are you doing?
I'm giving them a moment to subscribe to all of our pages.
Oh. How long is a moment?
You know, like a moment.
Okay, moment's up.
No, wait, it's not.
Jerry, roll the episode.
Don't forget to subscribe!
Welcome filmmakers, fans, and friends to Indie Cinema Showcase, your #1 source for filmmaking, conventions, and everything in between. I'm Christina Carmona.
And I'm Nando Luis Roman. Together we'll be bringing you the best and brightest Central Florida has to offer.
In today's episode, we'll be speaking with award-winning filmmaker TL Westgate and checking out his film, Spy Guys.
We will also visit some of our past events, and later on we'll be hanging out with Tim Anderson as he lets us know what films we should see before we die.
All right, let's get things started with our shortest of shorts film, Spy Guys, directed by TL Westgate.
Welcome to Silly Billy's. My name is Sarah. I'll be your bartender. I didn't take any time to memorize the specials. I'm sure you're not gonna order them anyways. My eyes are up here. So what'll you have?
He'll have a McKellen. 3 fingers, neat. And I'll have another one.
Smooth.
Lass. We need to have a private discussion.
Sounds like I'll go take a break.
There's only 2 of them. You ready?
The eagle soars over the mountains.
The fat lady has laryngitis.
The snow accumulates on the plain in the Arctic.
Satan's taint is as hot as the Gobi Desert. Sahara. It's the Sahara Desert. Sahara. Satan, Sarah, S. It's the Sahara. That's my final answer.
You've got it wrong. Technically, I'm supposed to kill you now.
Yeah, but I mean, I fixed it. I got it right. So just, go ahead. Continue.
You have it.
Sorry.
What is that?
It's disguised. It's the thumb drive with all the data.
It's nail clippers.
Yeah, but you open it up and...
No, what are you doing? You don't touch it after you pass it.
Hey.
Are you talking to me?
So is that your cherry red Corvette out there?
Why, yes, it is.
She's playing you, mate.
You're a playmate?
Bollocks.
Yeah.
Give me the dossier.
Who's the what?
The dossier.
I don't know what that is.
The North Korea files, the dirt on Kim, political links.
Oh. Ugh. Oh, God. Oh, don't. Oh. I've got to sit with that guy. Fine.
Want me to push it out of him?
Dog. I don't need this.
I don't want to have to punch a woman.
I do.
Ooh, nice car. Swipe right.
Oh, I think I'm gonna chunder. Did you hear what he said?
No, what?
I think he's gonna puke.
Great, get the thumb drive.
You guys are the good guys, right?
I'm FBI.
MI6.
Huh?
That's like the British FBI.
Going once. Going twice. So, man, I believe it flies down, but I'm not gonna look.
Woo! Yay me! Oh God, this is gonna be so good.
I can't believe we lost.
It's fine. Let's go look at some others.
Moving on to our next car for auction right over here.
Dork.
Moving on to our next car up for auction here at Uncle Eli's Auto Auction Emporium.
As a kid, our next guest knew that making movies was something he wanted to do. His long journey has taken him down many paths, which led all the way to teaching the next generation of filmmakers. For today's Industry Insight, we sit down with TL Westgate.
Hey guys, joining us in the studio is TL Westgate, filmmaker, actor, and all-around funny guy.
TL, thanks for joining us today.
Well, I'm glad to be here. I'm just glad you didn't say something funny because I didn't know what to say.
Put you on the spot.
So tell us a little bit, how did you get started in filmmaking?
Well, as a kid, I was an actor in stage plays in Naples, Florida. So I liked acting. And then in high school, they finally had a TV station my senior year, and me and this one other guy who just totally took to it and were taking the camera out and just shooting all sorts of really bad things.
Well, that's how you learn, right?
Exactly. That's how
better.
you get better. Get all the bad stuff under your belt and improve.
All right. So you shot a lot of corporate stuff.
Yes, after I got my degree at Florida State, I moved to Central Florida and started doing, legal videos, corporate, industrial, advertising, weddings, bar mitzvahs, you name it. Just, the typical video production guy.
Right.
Now, what made you want to transition from like corporate films into actual like narrative storylines?
Well, I made those bad films in high school and college, and then got into the corporate world. And luckily enough, I started to do videos for, of all places, the Volusia Home Builders Association. And they had their parade of homes every year, and they'd have their big awards banquet. And one guy there had the idea to kind of make little funny skit videos to play at the banquet. And I realized I've been making these films for these people at the Volusia Home Builders for years, and so I know the ins and outs of how to do it. It was all them, their actors, who were home builders.
Right.
And I started writing scripts and heard about this thing called the 48-Hour Film Project.
We know a lot about that.
We do.
Yes. I'm sure we're going to segue into that at some point.
Right.
And I had met this girl at the time, a woman, Michelle Bertana, and we, through a Yahoo script writing group. And we were going to write a script, and then we heard about the 48 and said, well, let's go do this. And we found a team and made our first 48 in 2008.
Right. And people love you. You're hilarious.
Yes, people love me, and I'm hilarious.
He makes me chuckle sometimes here and there.
I have my moments.
Yeah.
So going back on the 48, now that you brought up the subject, obviously, we have a long history with you when it comes to the 48 and shooting. How did you get started with the 48, then your progression with that?
Well, after our first one that Michelle and I did, we were on somebody else's team. We're kind of just a big team. And it turned out okay, but we realized, when everybody in the room, like 7 or 8 people, are all writing the script and everybody throws in a line and an idea, it's nice and inclusive, but it doesn't make for the best film.
Right.
So Michelle and I decided to make our own Creative Inlet Films, and we are the two who write, and we can focus. And if it doesn't turn out as good as we hope, that's on us, and we have nobody else to blame.
Right.
But it works sometimes, and we've had a good run of films. Like you guys were in my film in 2013.
Yeah.
And that won that year. That was our first win for Winning the City. And then Film Freeway website came out around that time.
That's right.
And then we started to make films and get into other festivals and just have a lot of fun making it.
All right. And real quick with the 48, that's how you started. And that's kind of hard, actually, because you're kind of thrown into the mix, literally, with trying to figure out how you're going to shoot. Right. Would you recommend that for?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, yeah, because it forces you to make a film in 48 hours. That's the whole premise. Right. So that can turn out good or that can turn out bad. But if you don't finish in 48 hours or it's not as good as you wanted it to, you're pretty much almost done. If you want to keep working on it, it won't go anywhere in the 48-hour film project.
Right.
But you can fix it, and now you have a film that you've made. It lights a fire under you and makes you be creative. Right,
absolutely. And I think with that, you don't know what kind of story you're going to come up with. So I think sometimes the most beautiful things come out of, just
that is
random.
One aspect that I really like about it is that you pull a genre out of a hat. You don't know if you're going to make a Western or a zombie film or a drama or a comedy, and it kind of forces you to be creative.
Yeah, and you're like the 48 guru. You really are. So last season, actually, we had one of your films, Kids News.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that? It was a great documentary.
Well, thank you. Aside from the 48-hour films, I do like to make some other films. And Kids News was a thing that, it was like middle school. My mother was reading in the paper. She said, hey, there's this thing happening at the mall for kids this weekend. Do you want to go? And I said, I don't even know if I said yes or no, but I do remember I said, there should be a newspaper for kids. And that was like all she needed. And we created a newspaper in Naples, Florida, starting in 1981 that was written by kids, all about kids and for kids. So I was in middle school and I got my friends to start writing, and it kind of branched out, and kids from other schools wanted to start writing, and it was all about events for kids and spotlighting kids who got good grades. And it was just a good news, feel-good piece every month. It was a monthly newspaper, and we spread it around town. It was free. Kids would sell advertising, like, they'd go to McDonald's, and McDonald's would say, sure, we'll give you a coupon for 50 cents for a French fry or something.
Right.
And that lasted till I was in high school, and So to get back to the documentary, recently I decided to make a documentary about it just to kind of preserve that history, because nobody outside of Naples ever heard of it. And I just made a documentary about everything about kids news and about my mother, who, you know, unbeknownst to me, kind of inspired a couple of the other kids I knew. I mean, I knew they liked my mom, but I didn't know what an impact she had on them. And so that was like interesting to find out.
That's awesome. And I mean, we've known you for some time. And I felt like we were getting to know a different aspect. So I was like, look at TL.
Yeah. I found out a lot of information about you.
I don't know if I'm multifaceted, but I've got at least 2.
Yeah.
So you're saying you're two-faced?
All right. So you also teach.
Yes, I'm an online professor at the Los Angeles Film School. So this whole filmmaking endeavor has branched out into me having a job teaching it now.
What made you want to teach? Was it everything that you learned?
It's weird how life works out. I was initially going to school to be a math teacher, and then I took calculus, and then I went into filmmaking.
Same thing.
So I've circled back into my first love of teaching, and I now get to teach filmmaking. So it works out well for me.
That's awesome.
Math, really? Of all the subjects. Sorry to all the math lovers out there, but
yeah,
not for me.
No, no, that was a bad idea.
Now, as a filmmaker here in Florida, I think the biggest thing for us here is the fact that everything you shoot looks like Florida. Do you have any like advice for filmmakers that are like, they don't have like this, you know, they don't look like New York or Europe? Like, what do you do to make your films look different?
Well, another good thing about living here is there's a lot of actors in town.
Yeah, sure.
They do a lot of print work and advertising, and they love to do film work instead of advertising. So this is a good place for actors. As far as locations, yeah, you got to get out there. That, you know, I love my neighborhood because it has like northern trees. It doesn't feel like Florida.
Right.
My girlfriend Gwen and I, we go out every weekend and ride our bikes on all the trails around Central Florida, and for 20 miles each day. And we see a lot of new sites, and in me, I'm like cataloging, oh, this looks awesome. This would be a great place for this type of film. And we rode our bikes around Lake Apopka, and there's this weird stretch of like an old road that's not taken care of anymore, and it's a bike path now. So I'm like, oh, this would be a great place to shoot a scene for a film. So get out and about and get around, learn your town, and you can always rely on a green screen.
You're fantastic at that too.
I
your effects are great.
Well, I've been using After Effects for about 15 years, and yeah, that'll really up your game. Not only will it make your films better, it'll make you shoot your films differently, knowing what you can do later in post. So I'll always be learning.
Very true. So, filmmaker, actor, teacher. Anything else? Like, you know, film festivals, maybe?
A film festival runner. Yes, I do have my own film festival. That was something that branched out of, I like, one of my loves is sci-fi films. And so I love it when I can make one of my films sci-fi and not just comedy, or when you're assigned to a genre, you know, you're kind of stuck. And I had made a sci-fi film. Maybe you guys know M Theory?
I think I may be familiar with that one. There's a very handsome fellow in that one that I remember.
Why, thank you. Oh, you mean you.
You did have a wife in that film, though.
Oh, I did have a wife in that one.
She's very pretty.
Yeah, she was.
But when I made that film, and Film Freeway had just come out, I would go to Film Freeway and type in, you know, sci-fi festival, and there was a dozen maybe. So I wanted to make a sci-fi only film festival, and it's called Fantasize Short Film Festival. It's for fantasy and sci-fi films, and horror, and, you know, a couple other genres. But it caters more to those genres that larger film festivals don't really glom onto. So I just had my 5th year, and you know, due to COVID, had a couple of virtual years. But I do have screenings, and man, luckily, like through Film Freeway, I get some of the best films from around the world, because these filmmakers, you know, in Japan and Europe, they're like, oh, sci-fi festival.
Oh, they let their sci-fis out there.
Right, so it's not like, a bunch of kids in their backyard with lightsabers. No, these are actually...
Wait, hold on. What's wrong with that? It's not about the lightsabers now.
Yeah, I liked your film, Nando.
Thanks. I produced it myself.
You should.
Oh, man. Well, TL, thank you so much for hanging with us today. We really appreciate it.
It's good to see you guys. Thanks.
Definitely. It's always a pleasure having you in the studio and always working with you. So Thanks for stopping by.
So remember to follow TL on all of his socials to find out what he's up to now. If you would like to be a guest, have something to promote, or have your film featured on our show, visit our website at indiecinemashowcase.com. Watch past episodes and help support the show by buying some merch at our online stores.
Also, be sure to follow us on our socials, Facebook at ICSTV and on Instagram and Twitter at ICSTV Show. You can also reach out to us by emailing us at icstv@yahoo.com.
Hello, everyone. I'm TL Westgate, and you're watching the TL Westgate Show. No?
Close.
Close? Okay, sorry. Hello, everyone. I'm TL Westgate, and you're watching Indie Cinema Showcase.
Welcome back. Now it's time for us to go on location with ICS. In this episode, we visit the Central Florida Film Festival, which is now accepting submissions for 2022. I am here with the main man in charge, Festival Director Brendan Rodgers. Brendan, thank you for chatting with me today.
Thank you for being here. We're super thrilled that you're here. You weren't here, I don't think. Well, you were here, and Nando was here last year. You presented an award. We had you on a panel, but ICS wasn't here.
No, ICS was not, but we're here now, and hopefully we get to be here for the next one.
Yeah, you should. We plan to. I mean, it's been a crazy year. We're surprised we're here this year.
For filmmakers who've never been to Senflo, maybe they're thinking about it, or people who want to come and see some independent films, what can they expect from Senflo?
Well, we try to have a very filmmaker-centric, fun 3-day weekend. It's not highbrow, it's not, overly sophisticated or whatever. It's about enjoying and celebrating the films and creating an environment that the filmmakers can network in.
Now, I'm going to get an exclusive tip from Brendan. So, when So when a filmmaker is looking to send in to Senflo, now I believe you guys were named one of the 25 film festivals to spend your money on. Yeah. For filmmakers that want to submit, what is something that they can do to maybe stand out? What do you look for?
Well, we definitely look for variety, we look for originality, we look for, stuff that surprises us more than anything. Because if the committee that does the selection, we're all filmmakers, if something catches them by surprise and grips them, it almost always makes it in. I think the most important thing, though, to make sure for film, especially new filmmakers, is make sure to pay your sound guy. Because the one thing that stands out is sound. Actors can make crazy decisions, directors can film things in weird ways, it could be artistic interpretation, but bad sound is bad sound. It's completely technical. So if nothing will pull you out of a movie faster than the audio upcutting or some kind of, lack of continuity with the sound, anything like that. That's like the one thing that pulls us out more than anything.
All right, so you heard it here, sound guys, that's super important. Now with that being said, people who are fans of independent film and filmmakers themselves, where can they find out more information about send flow and how to submit when you're going to be, opening up submissions again?
So we're going to open up submissions for the 16th annual festival on February 15th, and that will run through October 1st, and that's on Film Freeway. People can either visit our webpage or centralfloridafilmfestival.com. There is a link once we open submissions to our portal on Film Freeway, or they can go on Film Freeway directly and look us up under Central Florida Film Festival and just click submit.
That was such a great time, run by fantastic people, and we watched a lot of films.
A lot of great films. And speaking of films, let's check in with the beautiful Enzion Theater, where our good friend and former ICS host Tim Anderson is going to let us know which films we should see before we die. Take it away, Tim.
Hey everybody, I'm Tim Anderson, Programming Coordinator at the Enzion Theater in the Florida Film Festival, and I'm here to tell you about films to see before you die. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the methodology that I chose in highlighting these films, and because of Indie Cinema Showcase's goal to really uplift independent filmmakers working in the industry right now, I wanted to highlight films that I think were made from a very specific perspective and style that hopefully you all can take inspiration from and emulate yourselves in your own work. So the first film I want to talk about is a recent film, really a very pure film to Central Florida, and that is Shawn Baker's 2017 film, The Florida Project, which was shot in the Kissimmee area, starring Willem Dafoe and Winter Park resident Brooklyn Prince, along with essentially a cast that Baker found on Instagram, at Target. And this is a film that exemplifies regional filmmaking. It's very of the I-4 corridor and Disney area, talking about social issues that exist inside of that facilities and homes and housing, and the people that live there sort of on the margin of the happiest place on earth. So if you guys get a chance to see it, it's about a young girl who lives in the Magic Castle Resort, her relationship with her mother and her friends, and the, I guess you'd call him the property manager, played by Willem Dafoe. An incredible movie and definitely something to check out, and really understand how utilizing areas that are in your vicinity and highlighting them can not only create an incredible place and time, but an identity to your movie that is very pure and very grounded in a reality. I think that a movie's locations are doing a lot of the heavy lifting, which really is an impressive thing considering that most of the cast of the film essentially had never acted before. So I hope you guys love the movie. I hope you guys get a chance to check it out, and definitely a movie to take inspiration from, and definitely something to see before you, leave the mortal coil behind. Thanks again, everybody, for joining me. I had a great time with it. I hope you love the movies. I'm Tim Anderson. Christina, Nando, back to you.
Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of ICS. We want to thank TL Westgate for sitting down with us, Senflow's Brendan Rodgers, and Tim Anderson for those great movie suggestions. Now, can we just talk about the panel at Senflow?
Yes.
The writing panel, the Dave School.
Filmmakers, fantastic.
Yeah, it really inspired me to write a film so we can shoot it.
Are you seriously going to put me to work again? I mean, don't we do enough as it is?
TL made a film in 48 hours.
This is true, and it was very funny, especially for the fact that it was in 48 hours.
Yeah.
But you know one thing you failed to mention about Senflow? The fact that some of my chips went missing.
Oh, like my popcorn.
Oh, that's right. You saw the segment too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you guys want to check out the extended version of the segment, be sure to check it out on YouTube by searching Indie Cinema Showcase. Well, we hope you learned something new, saw something that you love, or got inspired to get off the couch and go make a movie of your own. Who knows, it might be good enough for us to screen on the next Indie Cinema Showcase.
Don't forget to follow us on our socials, Facebook at ICS TV, Instagram at ICS TV Show, and YouTube at Indie Cinema Showcase.
And if you want a chance to have your work, event, convention, or film festival featured on ICS, send us an email at icstv@yahoo.com.
Until then, the set is closed, and as they say in the movie business, that's a wrap.
See you next time.
I want my popcorn.
I want my chip.